again in 2024 when Bungie collaborated with Hasbro to make a Nerf replica of the Ace of Spades.
Hi there, I'm a soulless corporate CEO, and today I've taken a break from one of my favorite hobbies, devouring the blood of infants. And I'm here to ask a question. Is a gamer not entitled to the contents of this disc? No. Do you like owning things? Are you proud of the time you spend working for a paycheck to be able to afford basic comforts like entertainment? Well, that's too bad, because I'm here to steal all of that from you. You will own nothing and be happy. Yes, this includes your precious video games. We're gonna keep killing them, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it.
Psych!
Soldiers, get set for a combat drop, okay? New major order just came in from command. Our mission is to stop killing games.
You fucked up my face.
This is part of the Stop Killing Games initiative, and just in the last 3 days, this initiative has gained over 100,000 new signatures.
Are we blind? Deploy the garrison!
And its entire goal is game preservation. Now, we have until July 31st to get all of these signatures, and I think we can get it done. Stop Killing Video Games is an initiative as straightforward as those 4 words.
As a refresher, Stop Killing Games is a consumer movement to stop publishers from effectively destroying video games they have already sold to customers.
This movement was started by a channel called Accursed Farms and a creator who goes by Ross. He has been hard at work promoting something that benefits all of us. If you buy games, play them, or even if you do neither, and you only watch someone stream games, this affects you. But now is the time for any passionate gamer to throw their full support behind this. He recently posted an hour-long video detailing basically the start and the end of the entire movement. It's a really good watch. I'll have it linked in the description and pinned comment, but I'll let Ross sum up.
The quick legal argument is that the vast majority of games with an online requirement say they can be terminated at any time for any reason. Or Blizzard likes to say any or no reason. That might be a violation of Directive 9313 EEC, which protects consumers against unfair terms in consumer contracts. So if that term is unfair, that means that part of the contract is null and void. And if it's null and void, then what does the law say about how long your purchase lasts? Well, it doesn't. That's the whole mess.
What a horrible, evil man. Can you believe the nerve of this guy wanting to save all of us some money? Has this guy even considered the various multi-billion-dollar corporations? We're lucky enough to just be able to buy their products, don't you see? And they should be allowed the freedom to destroy our products whenever they want for any reason at any time.
Blizzard says they can take away your purchase for no reason. Our problem is those terms are so hostile to consumers and the medium that they should be taken off the table entirely.
It is something so uncontroversial, normal. It's surprising how few people are open critics of this movement. But there is at least one.
Oh shit, now this is actually really dumb. It's used car salesman garbage. This is shit. It's shit.
But like the creator of Stop Killing Games, I don't want this video to just be a drama video, especially when something much more important is at stake. Just be patient. We'll be pirating some software soon. But before we get into that, all you need is One Punch Man, a series that just collabed with the sponsor of today's video, Crystal of Atlan, a magic punk MMO ARPG. Embark on the path of a hero. During this limited time event, which runs until July 26th, you can download and play Crystal of Atlan for free on iOS, Google Play, PC, and PS5. And now's the time to play because you'll earn some exclusive One Punch Man themed rewards. And if you become a Class S hero after you've done 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and a 10-kilometer run, you too can take the fight to Boros. Play as your favorite characters from One Punch Man, like, what's this guy's name again? Choose from 11 different classes, all unlocked at the start. No character gotcha. And each class has 2 specializations. You can combine your skills in over 20 different combinations, ensuring there's tons of ways to experiment and play the game. You can even team up with Tornado or get a mount, Genos' Sky Knight. What do you think of that, Jenna? I'd say it looks pretty fire.
Incinerate!
Download and play Crystal of Atlan for free using the links below. And thank you, Crystal of Atlan, for sponsoring this video.
And now for something completely different.
What this really is a battle for consumer rights. Do you consume? Do you love consuming? Obviously, this is one of the least controversial things that has ever happened in the worldwide gaming community. And I truly mean that. You could not come up with a more inoffensive movement if you tried. Let's see if we can try. Are you in favor of the stop slaughtering baby seals with machetes movement? Are you against that?
This is shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to.
And I encourage everyone who lives in the UK and is watching this to sign the initiative. That will also be linked down below. Let's get it done. Looking at you, France and Germany.
This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. Remember your training and fight. Put together, troopers. We're still in this.
I must commend and congratulate Ross. Getting over 600,000 people to click a document and sign it is no easy feat. Least of all, getting 600,000 gamers to agree on something. The last time that many gamers agreed on anything, it became the most downvoted Reddit comment of all time. So Ross, I think you are well within your right to enjoy this moment of pride and accomplishment. The reason this initiative is being pushed forward in the European Union is so it can open negotiations for companies to become legally obligated to preserve their games in some way, or at the very least, allowing consumers to preserve the games. The point is, this movement is very pro-publisher. It leaves that choice up to the publisher. They have multiple options. It's really such a convincing argument, even if you are on the side of like game publisher, corporate executive type guy. As seen with The Crew, publishers like Ubisoft are fine with abruptly shutting down their games, eliminating all online functionality, and offering no recourse for people who want to play that game, maybe now, maybe somewhere down the line, and then offering no recourse for the player.
Is this good for the player?
And here's the phrase that really scares corporations, okay? Make sure you don't repeat this anywhere, okay? It's very offensive, all right? If buying isn't owning, piracy isn't stealing. It's important to note that Stop Killing Games is not retroactive. It is not unreasonable. It would not force every developer to turn on the servers for every dead game and keep them running indefinitely. Who's gonna do that for our boy Concord? Is the team that made MAG? Do I have MAG? Is the team that made MAG gonna have a high school reunion? This might actually be like a completely dead game. Is this playable in any way? Let me know in the comments. PlayStation Move? What the fuck? And you could make a whole ass video on why video game preservation is important. But let me just give you a personal example. There's a game called Command & Conquer Renegade, which, as far as I'm aware, nothing even comes close to its concept. It mixes RTS mechanics with first and third person shooter fundamentals. It would have been an utter tragedy if, when the GameSpy servers shut down, the game went with it. And here's where things are getting weird, because now I'm gonna give EA some props too. In a rare example of EA doing something good, they have allowed a team of passionate fans to resurrect Command & Conquer Renegade with their own free-to-play mod, Renegade X. You know, video games are a great escape for people, and there's something comforting knowing that one day, you know, you can go back and play something that you did years ago. Game preservation is important, and it's not just for random niche games.
Here's a list of some popular games that are all at risk of being destroyed at some time in the future. The Stop Killing Games movement sees any of these being destroyed as a problem, and they're exactly the kinds of games that would start being protected if the initiative passed.
There's no way to be against the Stop Killing Games movement in a way that is pro-consumer or pro-gamer. And if it ain't pro-gamer, then I'm a big hater. Stop Killing Games was stuck around 400,000 signatures for months, and it seemed all hope was lost. Who deserves credit for this sudden resurgence? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about Mr. Software. Now, unfortunately, Ross had done just about everything he could think of to push to get those 1 million signatures. And this guy is one hell of a diplomat. Very nice demeanor, passionate about games, doesn't really show any malice, hatred, contempt towards publishers or anyone. In fact, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone that could actively dislike a guy like Ross, let alone publicly.
Okay, I really don't want to do this next part, but it's become a liability for the campaign for me not to. Our biggest critic by far is YouTuber and streamer Pirate Software. If your only exposure to Stop Killing Games has been this video, then you've been misinformed. This video is by someone who does not understand the campaign, has been trying to stop it, and has been making up what it is about.
Let's get scurvy, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get scurvy. Pirate Software has been the most vocal, outspoken critic of the Stop Killing Games movement. Not only that, he has stated that he is actively seeking to convince people not to sign the initiative.
This is shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to. That is awful. That is horrible.
Pirate Software has carefully crafted this persona of being a deep-voiced pro-gamer, pro-hacker, former developer, the everyday Cyberman. But most recently, some cracks have started to emerge. Most notoriously being his epic roach out in a hardcore WoW classic clip. In this heartbreaking moment, Pirate Software abandons his team, his sense of duty, and roaches out. Every man for himself, intentionally sabotaging his own efforts to assist his team by wasting mana on max level spells, not utilizing his toolkit. He fucked up. He made a misplay. That's okay. It happens. Just say you're sorry, admit you fucked up, and help them grind back up the ladder. This is when the masks started to fall for people. My personal favorite quote from this.
Do you see my mana? What am I supposed to do for you?
If you were writing a narcissistic character, this is the perfect catchphrase.
Do you see my mana? What am I supposed to do for you?
Brother, help me!
What am I supposed to do for you?
Hey, Dad, can you pass the salt? What am I supposed to do for you?
So this kind of turned him into a lolcat because he made obvious mistakes and then pretended like he didn't. It's kind of weird, dude. But then it started to get weirder. You see, Pirate had been up to some other shenanigans, including filing a DMCA takedown on an indie game that he thought used his voice and likeness. It's a fucking meme game called Idle Streaming Bonanza. It's a game that includes many streamers and basically just pokes fun at all of them. The thing of it is, there was no active build of the game with Pirate Software's voice. So when he filed a DMCA, he filed it maliciously and incorrectly. Not the first time we've dealt with someone who did that. Luckily, the act attorney is on vacation. Pirate was completely in the wrong, and I think it says something about a guy whose first reaction to learning his voice has been used in a video game that is essentially just a shitpost is to immediately try and take it down. Like, who does that?
We're going to take you to court. You're going to lose. You cannot use somebody's likeness or voice in any way inside of your games without their permission. Welcome to the Finding Out timeline, bud. What am I supposed to do for you?
We're all on the internet. We all get made fun of on here.
As much as you're angry right now, of course I ran. Yeah, no, he was doing it maliciously and using my voice. Gloated about it all over Reddit.
And this post has, guess how many upvotes? 27. What the creator of this game had done is just posted a clip on Reddit of what it would be like if Pirate Software was in the game.
And the only reason I'm fighting this is because he's removing my game from Steam when he's not on it. That's the issue I have with it. All the other issues I'm fine with.
Like, Pirate Software didn't even bother to check that he was actually in the game, or I don't know, respond to this post and say, hey, can we talk? Can you take that out? Like, he just went hard straight to DMCA.
He put it up on Steam and showed that my voice was going to be in it. And that's it.
But ever since that WoW clip, people have been going back and uncovering some things. Now, Ross in his video highlights every YouTuber and gaming news outlet that has covered Stop Killing Games, and he determined that Pirate Software's coverage was the most viewed. And it was 2 videos full of lies, just blatant misrepresentation of the movement and its goals, even going so far as to say the complete opposite of what was literally on his screen.
If you try to tell me that every studio needs to run their live service game indefinitely or not want to run one at all, then no one's going to run them.
Oh no! He wheeled out that line about publishers having to support the game forever. He was literally watching the video earlier where it says it won't do that in big letters. That wasn't enough. We just can't stop gamers from going there, even when we spell it out. I admit, guys, this part hurts. To see the biggest voice on this issue get it wrong again and again and again, then put that same wrong information on blast to a far bigger audience than we can reach. It hurts.
Watch this, Lise. You can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand what we're asking for.
Look, it's one thing to disagree with a movement for whatever reason. It's okay to ask questions and seek clarification to make sure you should throw your support behind this thing, right? Thankfully, Ross has done such a thorough job that any and all questions any reasonable people have, he has answered. Not only has Pirate taken a firm stance against Stop Killing Games, he has said he will actively try to make sure it doesn't succeed. This is generational hating.
Eat my entire ass. This shit sucks. That's a really stupid ass move. That's an incredibly stupid ass move. I think this is ass.
Actual villain type shit. But maybe that's exactly what we needed. We needed a bad guy to help galvanize us out of our fucking gaming chairs to sign something. Now, if you watch Ross's video and you listen to how Pirate Software talks, it's pretty clear who the aggressor is, who is the dick.
This is complete garbage. All of this can eat shit. I dropped the mask entirely. I have no qualms about that.
I thought it was really funny when I posted this. What am I supposed to do for you? Just stop killing games? Would you believe Pirate Software blocked me after this? So Pirate has admitted that he has been ignoring this issue and the misinformation he spread for 10 months until he posted one of those "I ain't reading all of that" type tweets. For some reason, he deleted this. Let's read to see if we can find out why. I put out 2 videos disagreeing with your initiative 10 months ago and haven't talked about it since. Now, your initiative has failed, and you're blaming me for 33 minutes of the hour-long video covering it. You have no mana left, accursed farms. What was I supposed to do for you? Your community is out in force, shitting up our streams and socials with hate messages, threats, and worst of all, snide comments. Dear God, please, no. No, not the snide comments, anything but that. Waterboard me all you want, just don't post snide comments. Okay, but like, Pirate, you have unresolved software. You got a bunch of shit wrong, and you misinformed a ton of people on a movement that is beneficial for gamers. So just come out and correct yourself. In fact, I'll give you an out right now. Say that you became the villain that Gotham needed.
Why is he running?
Because we have to chase him.
Okay, we're going in.
You secretly support this movement, but you wanted to create a persona that could galvanize people to be in opposition to you. This is your out. This is your out. Because if you don't own your mistakes will own you. I do want to point out him saying your initiative has failed, not it's failing or it's in trouble. Losing support. There's a lot of ways you could have said that, but you chose the definitive, your initiative has failed. It almost sounds like you want it to, like you're trying to manifest this outcome. Any assumption that Pirate simply disagrees with the Stop Killing Games initiative, we can just uninstall all of that. He maliciously wants it to fail. And that is so disappointing, because how does a guy who calls himself Pirate not understand why people want to preserve their games? It's like, you can't make this stuff up. The writers for this year's season of Life on Earth, they're outdoing themselves, man. This season's fucking crazy. Disagreeing with this initiative is already weird enough for any self-respecting gamer, but to be like so outspoken against it is really sus. It's sussy balls. Pirate software. Look inside. Don't pirate software. I'm more offended by his complete disregard for the noble profession of piracy. Now, some people, myself included, have wondered why he is so steadfast against this. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say definitively that pirate software is an industry plant. I'm just saying this is exactly what an industry plant would do and say.
Since you're so set on cutting up my responses into pieces to try to make me seem unhinged, I'm going to drop my videos here to show the actual context. There is also a massive pinned FAQ on the first video. Did you know I worked for GameFAQs? What?
Dog, I ain't reading that. You're wrong. You can't explain yourself out of being factually wrong. Just
So Pirate Software did not understand the initiative. Maybe still doesn't. That means the majority of his critique is about things it would not do, like kill all MMOs.
I'm fine talking to people that are level-headed about this and can have a conversation. But to be real, dude, every time you've been involved, your orbiters turn shit toxic instantly and it sets me off. Don't you understand? It's your fault I am upset. How dare you expect me to correct my false information that I spit out 10 months ago?
And he does not wish to discuss this with me, or anyone else in the initiative. Why not?
Would you consider reaching out and talking to Ross about it? No. And the reason why is because I found his entire statement over the YouTube incredibly disingenuous.
Yes, this issue which has bothered me since I was a teenager and I've spent 10 years on trying to push back against is me being disingenuous.
Look, this is just a backhanded way to say Ross isn't level-headed enough in your eyes and can't hold the conversation. It's like, dog, did you watch his video? Have you ever seen a more chill gamer or YouTuber on this platform? Real talk. He's completely non-hostile. The only reason he's making this video now is that's all he can do.
This video came out right as we were building momentum, then except for one boost in Germany, the signatures started drying up like clockwork. This put me in kind of a no-win scenario too, because if I ignored it, then a lot of people were going to get misinformed about the campaign. But if I did a response video, which is not something I wanted to do anyway, then it might look like drama farming, which could understandably turn off a lot of people from the campaign, because it's not about that at all.
So much misinformation was dumped on this initiative when it started, it did damage it. Now's the time to correct course, and that is what we are all doing. Pirate deleted this tweet, and then he goes on and says, "Sure, I shouldn't have clapped back when Ross disparaged lawmakers and the legal process." Again, it's like, whose side are you on now? Now you're on the lawmakers' side? What, like all of them?
The idea that we're going to go through this because it's an easy win, but not the right win? No, dude.
Oh, God. So we misunderstood the initiative and misunderstood our intentions. And in his words, this is why he refuses to have a dialogue with the movement.
How dare you even crack a joke about the reality of the legal process in the United Kingdom?
What kind of hill is that to die on? Ain't no buried treasure there.
The idea of getting it to pass with an easy win instead of pass because it's good is a problem. Absolutely.
That's not how politics works. Do you think things pass because they're good ideas? Tell that to people who still have lead in their water.
This is just what's so funny about like the double, the triple, the quadruple down. Like someone who can't ever admit that they're wrong. This is what's so fucking funny about it. Is you just have to keep burying yourself into an even more ridiculous position. You make it so easy to make fun of you. It is hereby my dubious honor to present Pirate Software with the ultimate mark of shame. the Fake Gamer Award. No true gamer would stand against his movement or so wildly, intentionally misrepresent it as he has. Just fucking talk to Ross. It's not hard to have a conversation with people. I just don't get it. But Pirate has truly exposed a major flaw in his own software. And to wrap things up, if you're able to sign the initiative and push this thing forward, please do. Links are in the description and pinned comment. Reach out to anyone you think might also benefit or be interested in this, and make sure you do your part. Go subscribe to Ross at Accursed Farms. He deserves it for everything he's put himself through. And to Pirate Software, just take accountability, man. I know you're going to be overloaded with people saying the same shit, and you're going to want to tune all of it out. But just, if you don't own your mistakes will own you. People want to like you, but sometimes you give them no choice. Don't be the guy campaigning against gamers. Campaign with them.
Oh shit, we're all going to die. We don't see this perfectly. And we are not at that moment. We kicked some ass and we got to live.
I play walking role.
I worked at Blizzard for 7 years. And we are not at that moment. We kicked some ass and we just run. Run, 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 run.
The multiverse offers endless possibilities, but
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Every time I see you, I think to myself, as long as Spider-Man is still around, everything will be all right.
AOC has just ended her entire career. We have had a long time coming. It's a good day to be me, specifically, because it turns out all of the people that I dislike are also disliked by God. Because God hates liars. Now, before we actually dive into it, you have to remember, there are no blue states. There are red states and states that don't check for voter ID. Now, anyway, I wanted to show you my favorite AOC lie before diving into the newest shit. This is very funny. I absolutely have to show this to you. I have to show this to you because this is my favorite ever AOC lie. And so after this, we're going to dive into the current context where she tried to impeach Trump. Trump clapped back at her. She is a gigantic bitch. That part's not news. And the actual news aspect of it is she lied about her whole backstory. She literally ran for Congress and was elected to Congress on a completely fabricated backstory. The entire history that she has come up with for herself is all fake. Literally all of it. Lock in, boys and girls. This is going to be the greatest ride of your life. I do not like her. And after the next 30 seconds, you will not like her either.
I didn't think that I was just going to be killed.
Right, this is her talking about, get ready, gamers, get ready. January 6th. January 6th! Oh, Lord! It's like invoking the name of Voldemort. It's the one thing that the Democrats have been crying about forever. So this is what she's saying about January 6th.
I didn't think that I was just going to be killed. I thought other things were going to happen to me as well.
Like what? Like what?
So what sounds like what you're telling me right now is that you didn't only think that you were going to die, you thought you were going to be raped.
Yeah.
Oh!
I thought I was.
Oh! What a dramatic moment!
You now understand, having thought about it, is because of your experience.
Yeah, I think so.
What a traumatic moment. Not only did she think she was going to be killed on the vicious day that was January 6th, but she also thought she was going to get raped. Now, you know the really funny part? The really funny part. I have people in chat being like, how is she pro-Iran? Which she is, by the way. She's pro-Iran. All right, everyone in chat is freaking out, but let me show you the real freak out. AOC was not there on January 6th. A little reminder, this is where the rioters were on January 6th, and AOC was here, a block away. You were nowhere near the riots on January 6th, and which is why I think it's really important to remember this. She's sitting there crying on CNN. She thought she was gonna get killed and raped in that order, and you were not there. So in my opinion, you are a dishonest fuck, and God hates liars. So more and more lies keep getting exposed. Now, before we get into the actual lies, this is Benny Johnson. We'll be watching one of his videos today or more. And this is Tom Homan. Tom Homan is the border czar. He is the one in charge of illegal immigration and putting away the terrorists. So this is going to be really fun.
It's not possible, and I know that's being looked at. I can't comment on past that. I'm aware of it. We've asked ICE to drill in on that case. It's my information that there were actually can't really comment on it. We don't know if it was illegal status or not at this point. It looks like it might have been temporary status, but I can't comment on the case. It's under investigation.
What case is under investigation?
As far as her educating people how to evade ICE arrest, she's really educating them on how to be prosecuted. Because there are statutes on the books, federal statute, when you knowingly hinder your removal, that's a crime. When you take steps to prevent your removal after being ordered removed by a federal judge, it's a crime. We have instructed ICE to start prosecuting these cases.
Goddamn!
If you don't want to open the door, and we have a final order removal, if you don't want to participate and get travel documents for your home nation, you take steps to hinder your own removal, that it's a crime, you'll be prosecuted. So she can claim she's, educating people to constitutional rights. I'd argue she's educating many people on how to be prosecuted. You're going to see that happen.
He admitted, and this is really fucking awesome. Really, really fucking awesome. AOC is actually under federal investigation right now. This is actually happening, and this is a glorious day because you might not be aware of this, but there are a ton of people that have recently gotten charged and arrested that were part of the establishment last time. You could definitely check out another video on that. I will also make a video on that probably. But so many people are actually getting cooked for this. And you know who else is? AOC, actually under federal investigation. She is going to jail, damn it! And it's a glorious day. Now, President Trump made a post that I think is very funny. Stupid AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, one of the dumbest people in Congress, fact check, true, is now calling for my impeachment despite the fact that the crooked and corrupt Democrats have already done that twice before. The reasoning for her antics is all the victories that the USA has had under Trump administration. The Democrats aren't used to winning. And she can't stand the concept of our country being successful again. When we examine her test scores, we find out that she is not qualified for office, but nevertheless, far more qualified than Crockett, who is seriously low IQ individual, or Ilhan Omar, who does nothing but complain about our country. Yet the failed country that she came from doesn't have a government, is drenched in crime and poverty, and is rated one of the worst of the world, if it's even rated at all. Holy shit. Oh my god. How dare the mouse? That's what he calls AOC. Fuck, I can't read this. How dare the mouse tell us how to run the United States of America? We're just coming back from the radical left experiment with Sleepy Joe. Kamala, the auto pen in charge. Oh my lord, holy crap, man. Trump was sitting on the toilet and released a straight banger. What a disaster it was. AOC should be forced to retake the cognitive test that I completed at the Walter Reed Medical Center as part of my physical. As the doctor in charge said, President Trump aced it, meaning I got every answer right. Instead of her constant complaining, Alexandria should go back home to Queens, where I was also brought up. And straighten out, pay attention to that part, and straighten out her filthy, disgusting, crime-ridden streets in the district she represents and which she never goes to anymore. Fuck. This is crazy. She better start worrying about her own primary before she thinks about beating our great Palestinian senator, Ryan Chuck Schumer. Oh my god. Oh lord. Whose career is definitely on thin ice. She and her Democrat friends have just hit the lowest poll numbers in congressional history. So go ahead and try impeaching me. Again, make my day. Trump is the main character. It's Trump's world. We're just living in it. This might be the craziest fucking thing I've ever... This tweet's insane. So anyway, he releases this tweet. Pay attention to where he said that she should go back to Queens. Oh my lord. She retweets this saying, Mr. President, don't take your anger out on me. I'm just a silly girl. Take it out on whoever convinced you to betray the American people and our Constitution by illegally bombing Iran and dragging us into war. Shout out to Obama, who dropped 26,000 bombs without congressional approval. Okay, let's just make this very clear. Obama did what Trump did 26,000 times over, except none of it was effective. All right? So she had nothing to say about that. She did not care. So again, illegally bombing Iran, dragging us into war. No one was dragged into war. That shit ended in like 5 minutes. It only took you 5 months to break almost every promise you made. He actually kept like every single promise he's made. We are currently not at war, so that's cool. Then she does this. Also, I'm a Bronx girl. you should know that we eat Queen's boys for breakfast, respectfully. All right, so this is the new tweet. Pay attention. This is crazy. I'm a Bronx girl. You should know we eat Queen's boys for breakfast. So he claims she is from the Queens, and she claims she is from the Bronx. Now, if you notice, the original tweet over here has 17 million views. The follow-up tweet, the reply to this tweet, somehow has 21 million views. You'll notice this one was quote tweeted quite a lot because girl from the Bronx, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who beat high-ranking Democrat Joe Crowley, faces questions over her working-class background after it's revealed she grew up in a wealthy suburb north of New York City. Ho, ho, ho! Interesting, interesting. And her entire house of cards absolutely falls apart. Hey, at AOC, if you're a Bronx girl, why are you in my
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to have a stepmom and stepsister at the same time who's also the same person? What? Neither have I, but that's what Death Stranding is all about. In this video, I'll be explaining the entire story of Death Stranding in as succinct of a way as possible so you can get the big picture before you play the sequel, in case you just want to skip the first one or simply want a recap. We'll go over how the Egyptians were probably cosmic aliens, what happens if an incel is actually as hot as the pizza you can deliver for them, and why this little guy does this. So stick around as I present to you the full story of Death Stranding 1 Explained. Like the video now. So if you've never touched Death Stranding before, this prologue is going to feel like a bit of a trip. But don't worry, I'll be your guide every step of the way. Here's the big idea. We start off introduced to our main character, Sam Porter Bridges. Yes, that's his real name. And yes, everyone's name in this world sounds like it was generated by ChatGPT. Anyway, Sam's going full speed on his bike when it starts to rain. But this isn't just any rain, it's called timefall, and the moment it hits anything that's living, plants, animals, even people, it rapidly ages and eventually kills them. So yeah, rain, bad rain. Sam's racing to get away from the rain when, bam, he nearly runs over some mysterious woman who just poops out of thin air on impact. Then his bike goes off a cliff. He makes his way over to a cave to wait out the storm, and ruh-roh. Just under cover from the timefall, Sam starts getting this weird rash, and the hairs on his arms stand up, which in this world means you're not alone. And then we see them. Not visibly, not yet. Instead, it's just a sequence of black tar handprints. Wet, seemingly heavy, yet invisible creatures move around, growling. It's not the most pleasant experience. Sam tries to grab a photo he dropped when out of nowhere, that same mystery woman appears again, stopping him. The two of them just stand there in horror as this weird cosmic entity just, does its thing for a little while before eventually leaving. When it's over, Norman Fetus and Teleporting Lady glance up at the sky, which is where we see 5 floating ghost figures. Creepy. The woman finally introduces herself. Her name is Fragile. She sees that Sam is crying, which in this world means you're allergic to chiralium, a weird ghost mineral thing that exists in the air around the BTs, which, by the way, is short for beached things. These ghost monsters, basically. Fragile explains that the people who are sensitive to this stuff have a condition called dooms, and it comes in levels. The higher your level, the more you can interact with the ghosty stuff. Sam says he can only sense the BTs, which she says makes him a level 2. She's high. Also, she shows her hand, which is all old and wrinkly. Long story short, she apparently got soaked neck to toe by timefall somehow, so now her entire body, aside from her head, is old and wrinkly now. Anyway, she disappears again, as you do, and Sam gets back to his original job. He's a porter, after all, delivering cargo through the actually very beautiful wastelands. When he gets to a nearby town and finishes his run, he's told to meet someone outside, a guy named Igor from Ridge's Corpse Disposal. He rolls up in a truck and says hi, reaching out to shake hands, but Sam, he don't do that type of shit, because, see, Sam has a fear of being touched. He likes his personal space. Igor loads Sam into the truck, and we're introduced to something extremely important to lore: dead bodies. If someone dies in this world and isn't incinerated fast enough, specifically within 48 hours, they go necro. And if they go necro, they turn into a BT. But that's not all. From there, something called a void out happens, which is basically a nuclear explosion made of tar, ghosts, and broken dreams. It just so happens that the body that Sam and Igor and the driver guy are transporting currently is like over 40 hours old. The victim died by killing himself, apparently, which wasn't expected. People don't seem to do that much these days. Not that there really are that many people these days. Nonetheless, it's a ticking time bomb. Sam's like, why don't we burn it here? And Igor's like, no, we can't. It would release too much chiralium in town. People would start crying and seeing ghosts and shit. So they head towards the incinerator, knowing damn well the route is crawling with BTs, and Sam warns him. But Igor seems to think it's doable. This is a bridge baby, or BB, which is a literal baby inside a jar strapped to Igor's chest. When you plug it in, it gives you visibility of the BTs. I'm not joking, this is the actual science. You hook up a baby to yourself and you gain a fucking ghost radar. Anyway, as the timefall picks up, the BTs arrive not long after. It's getting a little intense, which is to say everything is going to hell. The body is leaking gravity-defying black juice, BB's panicking, and they crash. When Sam wakes up, the body's face is turned gold. It is this weird skull mask made of chiralium. Then it starts twitching and sinks into the ground. As you're probably thinking by now, yes, this body has just turned into a BT. They try and be quiet, holding their breaths as the BT sniffs around, but the corpse is too far gone. Tar is bubbling. The BT brushes past some of Sam's blood, which gives it kind of a weird reaction. The driver of the vehicle, it turns out, got pinned down. A perfect little snack for the BT. It rushes towards the driver, and yoink. He starts getting taken to the back rooms before Igor puts him out of his misery. If things couldn't get more convoluted from here, a golden masked man appears. No name, no intro, he's just there. He shushes Sam, and suddenly the ground collapses into a pit of tar as Igor freaks out and gets grabbed. Realizing he's basically fucked, Igor tosses Sam the BB and tries to shoot himself before he gets yoinked. Yeah, he was too soft. Literally me when there's bugs under my skin. Get them out! Get them out! Sam watches as a massive BT devours Igor, and then, boom, a void out. Sam wakes up on a desolate beach with dead whales everywhere. He sees the baby and picks it up, trying to comfort the little guy, but it vanishes. All that's left are little baby handprints and black tar. Off in the distance, those 5 floating figures are back again. Then a woman, yes, a second mystery woman, walks into the ocean while singing "London Bridge is Falling Down." For some reason, Sam follows her, and then blah 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 blah. He's pulled underwater. Underwater, there are giant Lovecraftian creatures and what look like bodies just floating around everywhere. And Sam ends up finding himself, who then promptly roars the camera. And this is where we get the most legendary shot of all time, and perhaps the most iconic little moment Death Stranding is most known for. BB gives you the thumbs up. Absolute cinema. We get a strange distant memory from the perspective of BB before waking up for real this time. Sam coughs up some tar, delicious, and looks around as he stands at the edge of a massive crater, taking in the horrific sight that's paired with an equally eerie stillness. So that was the prologue. We've got babies in jars, ghost nukes, invisible monsters, golden skull guys, and black mucus. So yeah, welcome to Death Stranding. And this, my friends, is only the tip of a very confusing iceberg. But by the end of this video, my #1 goal is to ensure that you understand all of what the hell is happening. So without further ado, let's truly begin.